Welcome in to the USL Pro Weekend Review. My name's Nicholas Murray, very pleased to be joined by Jake Edwards as we take a look back at the past weekend of action across the league, starting off with the Harrisburg City Islanders, who continued their impressive ascent up the USL Pro standings with a 3-2 victory against Orlando City on Saturday night. Now, Harrisburg is their fourth win on the trot, and they've moved up to 5th place in the standings. Is there anything in particular that stood out to you, Jake, on this recent run of form for Bill Betcher's side?
Yeah, congratulations to Bill and all of his team there. What a great result. They've been able to do something that only Rochester have been able to do so far, was to beat the top team in the league. So well done to them. What stood out for me is goals, the finding the back of the net. 10 goals in the last 4 games and they've only conceded 4. So fantastic. Keep finding the back of the net. Keep scoring more than the other team and you'll win. As they used to say, it's a simple game.
Well, further down the standings, the race for the playoffs took more twists and turns this weekend as the Orange County Blues snapped a 6-game losing streak with a 1-0 victory against the Rochester Rhinos on Sunday evening. Now, the victory jumped the Blues back up into 8th place in the USL Pro standings, 1 point ahead of Charleston, Pittsburgh and Wilmington. Now, Wednesday night, the Blues finished their road trip as they visit the Battery at Blackboard Stadium. Jake, what do you think the keys are for this game?
Yeah, it's really tight in that part of the table, isn't it? I mean, credit to Orange County, bit of a slow start to the season, but if to not win a game for 6 games and to still be in the playoffs, testament to how well they've done this season. But they've got teams there and thereabouts, teams below them with a game in hand on them, so it's a tight position. Great result for them, but they need to get something else at Charleston. It's looking at the results for Orange County. They haven't scored more than a goal on the road for most of the games, and Charleston not scoring many goals at home either. So I think the key to that game will be mistakes. The team that makes the fewest mistakes should come out on top. Well,
a team that also ended a little bit of a slide down the standings this weekend was the Dayton Dutch Lions, as they earned a point in Charleston and then took a late victory against the Wilmington Hammerheads on Saturday night in the first 2 games of Matt Weston's reign as head coach of the club. Now, this is obviously a Dayton side that they're kind of fighting for a little bit of pride now. The playoffs probably a little bit out of reach, but they're kind of played spoiler over these last 4 games of the season. They could upset the apple cart for some of the teams that are a little bit ahead of them and chasing the final place in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they could. I mean, it's always a tough time. They're having a bit of a tough time anyway, but to change coaches certainly late on in the game is really is never a good thing. But the team's responded well, 4 points out of the last 2 games, so credit to them. Will they have an effect? I mean, they've got Richmond to play, Orlando, the Rapids. They've got a pretty tough run in to the rest of to the remainder of the season. So will they really? I'm not sure they're really going to affect the sort of 5 or 6 teams above them. But there'll be some big changes and some big announcements coming for in the off season for Dayton. So stay tuned. Some exciting things happening with that club.
Well, good stuff from Dayton this weekend. They move on, as Jake mentioned, to face Richmond next weekend. But we do have midweek action as the Battery face the Blues on Wednesday night. Then we have a big game on Thursday as Arizona United faces Oklahoma City on Thursday. Should be some really interesting games. We hope you'll join us on YouTube to watch both of those, and then join us on Friday as we take a look ahead to all of the weekend's action. Until then, for Jake, my name's Nicholas. Thanks for joining us.